Hello guys, welcome to my channel TMNJ, my literal full name and initials. My name is Taras and welcome. This video will be about my awakening. So, please don't tell my brother's gonna try to have you back. If he does, I'm gonna be really, oh, he isn't. I'm happy. So my awakening began when I was in the middle of me being 17. Began with my me separating, and I was incredibly depressed, incredibly sad. Just it wasn't good. Now what occurred is I remember laying down, and I subconsciously began to awaken. Consciously, I wasn't really aware of it, but I consciously was going back to my memory bank, and I was just going into my memories and seeing times where I just would feel energy and understanding what it was. For example, it was I went back to memory of me back when my great grandfather died, or rather, yeah, and I guess you could say that. And he we were at this funeral in Florida. So I was in middle school at the time, and what had occurred is I remember being next to next to my obesan, my grandmother in Japanese, and she was I was looking at her, and she was crying, and I was like, wait a second, you're crying? And I began to, I didn't feel anything, mind you, I didn't know him, and I began to just tear up, began to cry a little bit, and I didn't know why I was crying, but, because I didn't know him, but it was like, I began to embody her emotions and really feel what the vibrational frequency she was feeling. And I was just, when I consciously thought back to these memories, I was like, hold up a second. I'm an empath. I was awakening to my empathic abilities. And I was thinking about like various other moments where things like that had occurred, and I was like, and I was like, this shit has always happened. I just never knew. I just never knew about it. Rather, wasn't aware of it. So as my awareness began to rise up, because I didn't know that when you awaken, your awareness just fucking goes from 0 to 100. And what happened? I was like, all right. And I remember I was trying to talk to my mom about it, about me being an empath and awakening, and my expectations were that she'd be like, oh, okay, like, what are you experiencing? Like, what are you feeling, you know? No, she was talking about herself, and I was like, okay. And I was pretty disappointed. I can't lie to you, I was pretty disappointed. But I was like, okay. So I kind of drew back from talking to her. And then what happened, I remember going outside and just feeling so much energy. I love being outside in the beginning, I still love being outside, but I went from like, just being outside, being all right, cool, I'll be outside, and then just loving to be outside. I mean, loving it. And it was just so amazing. I loved just, I had this, I had this chair that I put out, and it's under this tree that I call it the tree of life, because I mean, it's literally the tree of life to me. Like, just being under it, like, it replenishes my energy so much. Like, I feel so much positive energy, and I'm just like, I feel so alive under it. I'm just in the moment. I'm just living. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling. Excuse me. And I just be under that tree all the time and just bathe in the sunlight and just enjoy nature and everything. Feeling everything, it's so amazing. I love nature actually, more than I ever loved nature before. But yeah, and then as sorry for my little brother, he's literally a room next to me. So if you guys hear him, I can't help that. No, but yeah. So as I began to further evolve my awakening, I was around a lot of individuals, some friends, some old ex-friends of mine I was around that I realized they were energy vampires. Literally. One friend of mine, I was around him and he just, I noticed that when I was around him, when my awareness rose up, that my energy would shrink. Like it would get so low, and his energy would rise up. I could feel it, and I would just be like, one day he came over, and he was some sort of drama, and he was with his partner at the time, and I looked at him, I was like, bro, what's going on? Like, come on now. And when it came down to things, when we were sitting on the tree of life, I noticed he was draining me and his partner of energy. And if you guys don't know what an energy vampire is, energy vampires are individuals who drain you of energy simply because they're so low vibrational. They don't know how to break their own selves up with positivity. All they know is negativity. That's all they know. All they know. They're very low beings in energy, very low. So so them attracting demons and other negative entities to them isn't a surprise when it comes down to it, honestly speaking. But yeah, I was like, the hell, and I wasn't liking that. So, and then the other friend, I noticed he was a big energy vampire. I mean, I remember it was nighttime, right, back in summer, and I remember what happened. The friend was right behind me, and it literally felt like someone boiled a hot ass pot of water and just fucking threw the water at my back. And I was like, mm, mm, mm. And literally, like, I was like, whoa. And so I started, like, to walk away to my mom's car, like, to the beginning of her car, that is. And, I sit at the head of it. Um, and it ended. The sensation ended, and I was like, no. I looked at him, I was like, you're an individual I do not want to be friends with or be around to begin with. Like, what the fuck? And what happened at that, that's when I began to kind of just change up who I was around, who I was friends with and all, because I was like, I can't fuck with that energy. That's not energy I can tolerate to be around whatsoever. People I can tolerate to be around, because I was their advisor, and I was like, there's no point in advising people who just simply won't listen, or rather, they're so stuck in their ways of negativity and just low vibrational frequencies that it's just like, what's the point, you know? So after that, I went ahead and I was around better vibrational people, mind you, but then I was more so going towards my abilities of feeling energy, and heightening my awareness. I began to evolve more and more and more, understanding that, hey, one, when it comes down to it, if someone's angry and they start cursing you out for no reason, you didn't do anything wrong. They're just reflecting their bullshit onto you. So you didn't do a damn thing wrong. They're just reflecting their issues onto you, what they're feeling. Two, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to feeling energy, and you're around people who just don't know what the hell's going on, like don't understand energy. Oh my. I'm just like listening to a lot of things, a lot of frequencies, a lot of just conversations. It's not good. But yeah, two, what's the concept of like to kind of understand that, hey, not all people are on 5D. So they're not gonna understand when you get like anxious due to energy, feeling too much, that, hey, he's feeling too much, he can't be around us like that. So yeah. Um, yeah, but as I began to evolve more and more and more, I began to feel energy. I began to develop abilities such as telepathy, which is my main ability actually. I began to astral travel, which is astral travel, if you guys don't know, is your consciousness traveling from one plane of existence to the next. So astral travel a lot actually. To me, it's a lot. When I astral travel, I'm going for about 2-3 hours at max. The most has been 4. And what happens is my consciousness travels from one parallel world, from this world to another parallel world. Literally, so I'm seeing images from another parallel world. Like I've been to a very variety of different planets, or technically different Earths, and it's been a variety of different versions of me I've seen. I've seen versions of me that are in their early 30s, early 20s, late 20s, late 30s. I've seen a version of me that's been like 16 or 17 years old. Um, Different personalities of all chords. Honestly speaking, like literally, a parallel you is different as shit. But in some accounts, I've seen that I'm still very wise. In some accounts, I'm very lazy and just don't care about some things. But yeah, I developed, yeah, astral traveling, something I didn't learn it, mind you. I just did it. And then I began to learn how to do it more. And then when it came down to things, I began to, you know how they say portals are, well, mirrors are like a portal to a different dimension. So I began to feel portals with my hand and just fill out what dimension the mirror leads to. And if you guys have seen The Mist, the movie The Mist, it's like this nice ass movie that goes towards these creatures from different dimension that roam in the mist. They basically live in it, and these people are trapped in a supermarket and they're like just trying to survive, right? But yeah, and when it came down to it, when I looked into when I closed my eyes and saw what was in the mirror, all I saw was a being, a creature like the mist. It had four legs and all, and it was like a dinosaur like creature, and its body was just metallic, like armory, like kind of like looked like kind of like armor, but like kind of like metallic armor. And I was like, interesting, but the vibration I got from it was very aggressive, very volatile, very just deadly. And I was like, yeah, I'm good on that one. But yeah, and then when it came down to things, yeah, it wasn't savory. It truly was not savory. But again, when I develop these abilities, when I just test out my abilities, what I can do, I tend to dive deep into it to see all that I can do. But sometimes I'm like, hold up, let me be a bit careful about what I'm doing, right? Um, Now, I began to do pendulum readings. I didn't know it was pendulum readings. I just was using my pendulums, and I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, I mean, after seeing my mom do a reading for me about how many kids I'd have, that's when I began to do it. But I did it with a stone, a tourmaline obsidian stone that my friend would give, a good friend of mine had given to me as a gift. But yeah, and then I tried telekinesis. Telekinesis was did it once, barely though, mind you. And I was done afterwards. I was drained of energy. I was like, I'm fucking done. I was like, I'm not trying that ever again. Then there was a concept of school. Yeah, school was really bad for me. I remember walking to the classroom and just feeling so much energy. And I thought it was my anxiety. No, no, no. It was the energy that I was feeling. It was just that I was feeling an immense amount of energy. And it was so fucking bad. I just could not. I couldn't. And I mean, like, I was like stumbling over, blacking out, like about to literally fall over and pass out because it was just that bad. Like they had to, I remember there was times where there was three times, three occasions, I think, where they had to literally wheel me out of the class, like dead ass. And like there was times where I literally couldn't be in class for that long, and I had to go to the nurse's office. Like it was like for the entire class period at times. It was that horrible. But yeah, and being a senior, I mean, that's great for me because I mean, what, what is it called? I forget what it's called. It's called something. Something they did where seniors got released early. So I was all right, cool, right? And it was just so dreadful for me, so damn dreadful. And yeah, I remember being in class one time and just having to rock back and forth, and then having to like rock side to side because I felt so much energy and I thought this would keep me calm. It did do some damage, but it was just like it was so fucking bad. So, and my mom wasn't really understanding. She was really on 3D. She didn't understand what I was really feeling like that until she started going through it herself. And I just, and, well, until my, as well as my dad had to kind of get on her and be like, hey, well, when he was here, that is, like, hey, this is that, and that's this. And he was like, he understood what I was going through more than she did. So I was like, wow, that's pretty depressing. Um, rather than very unsatisfying. But, yeah, as I was evolving more and more, I remember I worked my old job, my first old job, at Wendy's, and it was like the energy there was so bad that like I thought it was my God, no, it was because I was feeling so much energy that the energy would go from like the base of my spine, my root, towards like my entire like encompassing. Sorry, I'm like my this thing is like I'm balancing my phone on my computer, so that's why you see the red light. um, there's a thing for my computer to not get hot. So yeah, but I will do myself a favor and but yeah. And what had occurred is it was like the sensation, the pain would go from my root to like just my entire like backside, like my entire abdomen, and I'd just be in pain, like just in pain. I'd be struggling I'd be trying to work through it, right? But it'd just be just horrible pain. I was like, what the fuck, right? And I literally my body transitioning to it was transitioning to, and it went from eating meat to me just from veganism. Because I was trying to see if I could do veganism, and then I went just to being vegetarian because I was like fuck it. Because my body when I tried eating a veggie burger, my dad got me. Um, tried it, my body literally was like, no, sorry, this is still meat. It still feels like meat. Sorry, you can't do this. Dead ass. And I was like, fuck. Damn, okay, cool. So since then I've been a vegetarian. Yeah, and it's been actually pretty good for me. Honestly speaking, I gotta say. Um, but yeah, my body just could feel it, could just taste the death in the food, and just I couldn't eat it. I could just sense the torture, just oh my God, it hurts to even talk about it. It hurts to even talk about it. But yeah, and I just throughout the process, um, it was so long. I began to my awareness really spiked up though, really spiked up. So I was beginning to see more synchronicities, more angel numbers like 111, 666, 777, 1313, 313, 424. A lot of 696, a lot of angel numbers, and it was really beautiful. And I was looking up the meanings and all. I began to dive into the crystals, what they can do, how they aid you, how they help you with the chakra. I began to look at the chakras, a lot of things, um, Kundalini awakening, so many things. Yoga, especially yoga. I dive deep into yoga. I do yoga and I meditation as well. I meditate and do yoga like every day. Exercising a lot. Well, not exercising. Well, I guess that, yeah, exercising, doing yoga every day. But yeah, and I began to just be like, like I like the way my body is right now. I don't like being buff, or I just like being like the way I am right now because it's like I'm beautiful, right? And I'm just comfortable with my body size at this point in time. I didn't like being buff. I didn't like being too skinny. I like how I am right now, honestly. Um, but yeah, and yeah, it was a really rough awakening. I began to understand manifestation more and deeper in depth. I began to just dive into a lot of things, understanding astrology, um, the signs, how it truly correlates with you, and on a deep ass depth. um, Beginning to make friends, spiritual individuals, So that was pretty nice, beginning to learn and teach. And like I'm a spiritual instructor now, actually. I teach not how to be spiritual, but the concepts towards spirituality in general. And it's truly beautiful to me. Truly, just teaching people, doing my passion, everything. So like yeah, the raising of awareness, increasing of awareness, it was splendid. And I looked at things now as like being on 5D compared to being on 3D. 3D being as like the logics and the science and making that perfect body and just the drama and the bullshit and this and that and this and so many 3D things of working a 9 to 5 job and all these 3D concepts and like not understanding energy and oh my god vibes. Like I looked at it, I said on my story, I was like on Snapchat, I said vibes are literally vibrational frequencies. That's this simplification of vibrations is vibes. So we say the vibes aren't right or I like our vibes, you like our vibrations. So you're being spiritual. And I was like, we're all spiritual beings when it comes down to it. We're all light fluctuates through all of us. We're all spiritual beings, all of us. Literally, some just choose not to understand it or accept it. Some choose to and dive into it. But yes. So yeah, that was my awakening. It was pretty damn rough. It was a roller coaster. And I was telling a friend, I said, sometimes your spiritual awakening is nice and smooth, and sometimes it's pretty damn rough. And you just want to isolate yourself and just be alone, which isn't a bad thing. But as I said, when you have a teacher teaching you these things, um, that's it's truly a blessing. But when you're doing this, when you're teaching yourself these things on your own, I mean, I watched this individual Ryan Cropper on YouTube, and he was the one who actually inspired me to do YouTube because I was like, I want to just preach about these things and raise enlightenment and raise the vibrations of so many individuals, you know? Because like, why not? Like, it's lovely. I love preaching to you guys. I love talking to you guys. I love when you guys try to interact with me or to any sort of degree. I love building up. I love it because it's like growth happens so much. It happens in so many ways. And your passions, doing whatever you choose is the best thing to do, is amazing too. Not just doing what you've been told to do, what you think is the best thing to do, like when it comes like real life, quote unquote. Like no, just doing your passions, doing what you truly love doing. And I looked at it, I was like, the more I evolve and awaken, I'm like, no, I don't want to do like the 9 to 5 job. I want to do this because this is amazing, right? But yeah, but that was my awakening. Chakras, energy, vibrations, nature, life, the essence, divination, hearing frequencies, telepathically speaking to my guides. I actually began telepathically speaking to my ex's astral form. I thought it was her physical body. No, it was her astral form, and that's how telepathy started for me. So yeah, excuse me, but yeah, that was my awakening. Um, like and subscribe if you choose to. I mean, I'd recommend it. I mean, I'll be releasing more videos soon, very soon. So yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you guys incredibly soon. And yeah, Jane.